The sky was no longer blue. Thick smoke and fire covered the cities. Earth was under attack by a powerful alien empire called the Threx Dominion. They came without warning. Their ships were black like shadows, and their weapons destroyed everything in their path. Tall buildings fell. People ran in fear. Countries that once fought each other now stood together to survive. For 10 long years, humans tried to fight back, but their weapons were too weak. The Threx had armor that could stop missiles and energy shields that never broke. One by one, human cities were lost. The last hope of Earth was a small group of soldiers, scientists, and leaders. They met in a hidden base deep under the mountains of Korea. Among them was a man named Ji-1 ***. He was a captain in the United Defense Forces. He was not the biggest or the strongest, but he had a sharp mind and a brave heart. Ji-1 had fought many battles and had saved thousands of lives. People believed in him. Soldiers followed him. They said he never gave up, even when all hope was lost. Ji-1 had trained in both modern weapons and old martial arts. He knew how to fight with guns, swords, and even with his hands. He moved fast, fought faster, and always stayed calm. Many called him the Iron Spirit of Earth. One day, a message came from the Threx. It was not a warning. It was an order. The alien king, ***Coralthax****, demanded Earth's surrender. He gave humans only one choice: bow down or be destroyed. The leaders were silent. No one wanted to give up, but they had little strength left. Ji-1 stood up. "We still have one chance," he said. "Challenge their king, one-on-one. If I win, Earth lives." Many were shocked. A duel against the alien king. It sounded crazy, but it was their only chance. Ji-1 believed in something the Threx did not understand: the human spirit. He knew that even if he died, his fight could give hope to billions. The alien king answered the challenge. He laughed, but he agreed. The Threx believed in strength. They liked showing their power. The duel in front of the galaxy would prove their rule. They thought it would be easy. So the stage was set. Ji-1 would fight the king of the Threx in a special combat. If he won, the Threx would leave Earth. If he lost, Earth would fall forever. Before he left, Ji-1 met with his closest ally, a smart and brave woman named ***Hi-Jin***. She was the top military strategist. She looked at Ji-1 with worried eyes. "You don't have to do this alone," she said. "I do," he replied, smiling gently. "But I need your mind. I need your voice in my ear." Hi-Jin nodded. "Then I will be with you, every step." As Ji-1 walked toward the ship that would take him to the alien world, he looked back at Earth one last time. The sky was dark, but inside him, a fire burned bright. The fight for Earth had just begun. After Ji-1 accepted the duel, the world changed. People all over Earth watched the news. Some cried, some cheered. Everyone talked about one man, Ji-1, the human who would face the alien king. He was their last hope. He was their final warrior. In the underground base, the United Defense Council met. They were the top leaders from every country. Some were afraid. Others were angry. A few believed Ji-1 had a real chance, but no one had a better idea. "This is madness," one general said. "The alien king is a monster. Ji-1 is brave, yes, but he's just a man." "Maybe," Hi-Jin replied, standing tall. "But he is not just any man. He has defeated more Threx soldiers than anyone. He's smart. He learns fast. He fights with his heart. If anyone can win, it's Ji-1." The room went quiet. Then the council voted. All hands rose in agreement. Ji-1 would be Earth's champion. The next day, a large alien ship arrived in orbit. It was cold, dark, and full of strange lights. It looked like a giant insect made of metal. The Threx sent a message. Send your champion. No weapons from your world. Only what we allow. Jai-1 said goodbye to the soldiers who looked up to him. He shook hands with commanders. Some saluted. Some hugged him. They knew he might never return. Hai-Jin walked with him to the launch bay. She wore a headset and carried a small device in her hand. It looked like a black stone, but it was full of secret tech. This is your neural link, she said. I'll stay in contact. I'll guide you. You won't be alone. Jai-1 nodded. Thank you. If I fail, finish the fight. You won't fail, she whispered. He stepped onto the small transport ship, followed by 2 tall Threx guards. They had sharp armor and eyes like glowing coals. They said nothing. The ship flew into space, heading toward the center of the Threx Empire, a planet called Sarnaxis Prime ***. Jai-1 sat in silence, watching the stars. He remembered his family, his friends, and his home. He remembered the green fields of the countryside and the sound of the ocean. He promised himself he would protect it all. After 2 days in space, they'd reached the alien world. Sarnaxis Prime was huge and strange. The sky was red, and the land was full of black towers. Giant machines walked through the cities. Alien ships flew overhead like flocks of birds. The ship landed in a tall silver tower. G1 was taken to a small chamber. It had no windows. Just a round platform in the center and lights that changed colors. A voice echoed in the room. You will train here. Your battle begins in 5 cycles. Jai-1 took a deep breath. The room felt cold, but he was not afraid. He stood tall, ready to learn, ready to fight. Far away, in a command ship orbiting the alien planet, Hai-Jin watched the screen. She tapped into the alien systems, setting up her link. Her voice spoke softly into Jai-1's ear. I'm here. Let's begin. The Threx Empire was built on fear and power. Their leader, King Coralfax was the strongest of them all. He ruled hundreds of planets with his iron will. No one had ever beaten him in battle. No one had ever dared to challenge him. Until now. Coralfax was not like other aliens. He stood over 3 meters tall. His skin looked like black stone, and his armor was made from a dead star's heart. He had 4 arms, each one strong enough to break metal. His eyes glowed blue, like cold fire. His voice rumbled like thunder. When he heard that a human wanted to fight him, he laughed. A human, he growled. They are weak. They crawl like insects. I will crush him before the first breath. But deep inside, the king was curious. Why would a weak race challenge him? Were they foolish? Or was there something more? He gave the order. Prepare the *** arena of Varn ***. This arena was known across the galaxy. It floated above a dead moon and had seen battles for thousands of years. Many warriors had entered. Few ever walked out. Back on Sarnaxis Prime, Jai-1 continued his training. The chamber he stayed in changed shape every day. One day it was full of sand and heat. The next, it had walls that moved like waves. He had to stay alert. He had to adapt. Each day, the challenges grew harder. Robots attacked him from all sides. He fought in zero gravity, underwater, and even in complete darkness. Hai-Jin guided him through it all. Her voice came through the neural link, calm and clear. Watch your left. Step forward now. Wait. Strike. Jai-1 learned quickly. His body grew stronger. His mind became sharper. He studied alien movements. He practiced with strange weapons. He learned the rhythm of Threx combat. But he never forgot who he was. He kept a photo of his family in a small pocket in his suit. He looked at it every night before sleeping. It gave him strength. One night, while resting in his chamber, a screen turned on. It showed King Coralfax in his throne room. I see you, human, the king said. You are small. You are soft. Do you truly believe you can win? Jai-1 looked straight at the screen. I don't need to be big to fight. I just need a reason. And I have one. My people. The king narrowed his eyes. Then he smiled. Good. I want to see your fire before I put it out. The screen went black. The next morning, a new message came. The duel would happen in 2 days. G1 would face the king in the arena of Varn. Billions across the galaxy would watch. As the day grew closer, G1 stood quietly, preparing his heart. He wasn't afraid of death. He was afraid of failure. But he remembered Hai-Jin's words, the faces of the people he loved, and the beauty of Earth. He had come far. There was no turning back. Soon, he would stand face to face with a monster and show the galaxy what it meant to be human. Ji-1 had only 2 days left before the battle. He woke up early and stepped onto the training platform. The room had no floor or ceiling. Instead, it floated in space, surrounded by stars and distant planets. There was no sound except his own breathing. This was the final stage of training. The Void Chamber ***. The Threx designed it to break the minds of warriors. In this strange place, time felt different. The air was thin. Gravity changed every minute. Walls moved without warning. Illusions appeared. Ji-1 didn't know what was real and what was not. But he kept going. Every step tested his body. Every moment tested his mind. Sometimes, the floor turned upside down. Sometimes, fire rained from above. Other times, he saw strange shapes, images of past battles, of fallen soldiers, even of his own fears. But Ji-1 did not give up. Hai-Jin's voice came through the neural link. Stay focused, Ji-1. The chamber wants to confuse you, but you are stronger. He trusted her. She watched him from the command ship, tracking his heart rate, brain waves, and movement speed. She had uploaded secret training programs into his suit, programs filled with Earth's greatest battle data. Ji-1 could now access the skills of 1,000 human warriors, ancient sword masters, modern generals, martial artists. He studied their moves, their thoughts, their strategies. He fought with a virtual blade made of light. It moved as fast as he did. In one test, 20 robot enemies attacked at once. Ji-1 spun, ducked, and struck. One by one, they fell. But the hardest part wasn't the fights, it was the illusions. The chamber showed him images of his family calling for help, of Earth burning, of him losing the battle. He felt fear creeping in. But then he heard Hai-Jin's voice again. You are not alone, Ji-1. Remember who you are. Remember why you fight. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. I fight. For my people, he whispered. With those words, the fear faded. The illusions disappeared. The chamber turned calm. A soft chime rang through the room. A robotic voice spoke. Final stage complete. Champion ready. Ji-1 dropped to one knee, tired but calm. His body ached, but his heart was steady. That night, he sat in silence. Hai-Jin sent him a message from the ship. You passed all tests. The Threx are watching. They didn't expect you to survive the Void Chamber. But you did. They're starting to doubt. Let them doubt, Ji-1 replied. Tomorrow, they will see the truth. In the distance, the arena of Varn began to light up. Energy beams formed walls. Seats filled with alien beings from across the galaxy. Huge screens showed Ji-1's face, the face of Earth's last warrior. The battle was near. Ji-1 stood, armor shining under the stars. He held his plasma blade, now shaped perfectly for his hands. It was his weapon, built from Earth's spirit and Threx technology. He looked out into space, calm and ready. Tomorrow, he would face the king. Tomorrow, the galaxy would witness what one human could do. The arena of Varn floated high above a dead moon. It was round and huge, made of dark metal and glowing lights. The walls were covered in carvings of old battles, thousands of warriors who had fought and died there. It was a place of blood and glory. Now, it was time for Jai-1 to enter. Billions of aliens across the galaxy watched through screens. Some cheered for the Threx king. Others watched in silence, curious about the human warrior. Few believed Jai-1 could win, but no one could look away. The gates opened. Jai-1 walked out slowly. His armor was light but strong. It moved with him like a second skin. His plasma blade hummed softly, glowing blue. His face showed no fear. He looked around the arena. The floor shifted with every step, sometimes stone, sometimes sand, sometimes metal. Strange pillars moved up and down. The walls pulsed with energy. Across the field, the second gate opened. The ground shook. King Corlithax stepped out, taller and heavier than anyone in the crowd. His black armor glowed red. He carried a giant gravity hammer in one hand and 2 plasma scythes in the others. His 4 arms flexed with power. His voice echoed through the arena. "Human, this is your last breath. Kneel now, and I will make your end quick." Jai-1 raised his blade. "I didn't come here to kneel." The crowd roared. The match began. Corlithax charged first, fast like a storm. He swung his hammer down with full force. Jai-1 rolled to the side just in time. The ground cracked where the hammer landed. Jai-1 dashed forward and struck with his blade, but the king blocked it with one scythe and attacked with the other. Jai-1 barely dodged. Sparks flew as blade met blade. The fight was wild and fast. The king was stronger, but Jai-1 was quicker. He used every move he had learned, from Earth's martial arts to alien battle patterns. He leaped from pillar to pillar, sliding under attacks and striking weak spots. But Corlithax was no fool. He adapted quickly. His attacks became faster, smarter. His hammer sent shockwaves. His scythes cut the air like lightning. Jai-1's armor took hits. His energy shield started to break. "Hi, Jin," he whispered through the neural link. "Any ideas?" Her voice came back fast. "The arena walls. They're charged with power. If you can lead him near the edge, I can overload the energy." Jai-1 nodded. He ran toward the wall, dodging attacks. Corlithax followed, roaring with rage. As they reached the edge, Jin activated the trap. A burst of energy shot from the wall, hitting Corlithax's side. He stumbled for the first time. Jai-1 jumped and struck with full force. His blade cut across the king's shoulder. The crowd gasped. But Corlithax didn't fall. He growled and entered a new form, his *** berserker mode ***. His armor turned red, his eyes brighter. Energy flowed around him. He let out a terrifying scream. Jai-1 stepped back, breathing hard. The king was only getting stronger. The real battle was just beginning. The ground shook as King Corlithax roared in rage. His body glowed red like fire. His 4 arms moved faster, each strike strong enough to break metal. He was now in *** berserker mode ***, a powerful form only used in final battles. Jai-1's hands tightened around his blade. He knew the real fight had begun. The king rushed forward with terrifying speed. His gravity hammer slammed down again and again. Jai-1 jumped, rolled, and blocked, but the force was too strong. One hit sent him flying across the arena. He crashed into a metal wall and dropped to one knee. Jai-1. Jin's voice echoed in his ear. "Are you okay?" "I'm still here," he said, standing slowly. His armor sparked. His shield was almost gone, but his eyes burned with determination. He looked at the king, who stood in the center of the arena like a giant beast. The crowd cheered louder. The aliens wanted blood, but Jai-1 didn't care about them. He only cared about Earth. He took a deep breath and calmed his mind. "I can't fight his power," Jai-1 thought, "but I can use his pride." He stood tall and shouted, "Is that all you have, Corlithax? You call yourself a king?" The alien king growled, his pride burning hotter than his rage. He charged at Jai-1 again, swinging all his weapons at once. Ji-won ran, not to escape, but to lead. He leaped onto the moving pillars. The floor shifted beneath him, but he kept going. The king followed, smashing the arena with every step. Hai-jin, Ji-won whispered, now would be a good time for another trick. She replied, there's one more energy trap left, but you'll have to time it perfectly. Tell me when. Ji-won jumped to the final platform near the arena edge. The king followed without slowing down. Now, Hai-jin activated the trap. A bright light exploded from the floor. Energy surged up, wrapping around the king's legs. For a second, he was trapped. Ji-won didn't wait. He jumped high, spinning in the air. His blade glowed blue, burning with everything he had left. He came down with full power, aiming straight for the king's chest. The blade hit. There was silence. Then, an explosion of light. The king fell backward, crashing into the ground. Dust rose all around. Ji-won landed hard, breathing fast. He dropped to one knee, gripping his side. His armor was cracked. His body hurt, but he was still alive. The dust slowly cleared. Coralfax lay on the ground, not moving. His armor was broken. His eyes flickered. The arena was silent. Billions watched. Then, the king's voice came, low and rough. You are not like the others. Ji-won walked closer, blade still in hand. I fight for more than power. I fight for my people. The king gave a slow nod. Then, you have won. He closed his eyes. The arena lights turned blue. A voice echoed, victory, human champion. The crowd gasped. The impossible had happened. Ji-won had done it. He had defeated the alien king. But the war wasn't over yet. The arena stayed silent for a long moment. Then, the energy walls faded. The lights dimmed. Across the galaxy, screens went dark. The fight was over. A human had won. Ji-won stood still, breathing heavily. His armor was cracked. His blade was fading. His legs shook, but he did not fall. He looked down at the fallen king. Coralfax lay motionless, his great body broken by the final strike. It was hard to believe. Ji-won had done what no one else had ever done. Defeat the strongest being in the Threx Empire. Back on the command ship, Hai-jin watched the screen with wide eyes. She put a hand over her mouth. Then she smiled. You did it, Ji-won, she whispered. You really did it. She quickly sent a signal back to Earth. The message was short but powerful. Asterisk, asterisk, victory. Ji-won lives. The king is defeated. Asterisk, asterisk. On Earth, people cried and cheered. Fireworks filled the sky. Families hugged. Soldiers celebrated. The world had hope again. But in the alien arena, Ji-won still felt tense. He knew something wasn't right. As he turned to leave the battlefield, a new sound echoed through the arena. Loud footsteps. Metal on stone. Ji-won turned quickly, his blade rising. From the shadows, a group of Threx warriors stepped forward. They wore armor with gold symbols. These were the asterisk asterisk High Guards asterisk asterisk, loyal only to the king. One of them pointed at Ji-won. He must not leave. The king must not fall to a human. Another growled. He tricked the system. The battle was not fair. Ji-won took a deep breath. He had no energy left for another fight. But before the guards could attack, a deep voice echoed from behind them. Enough. It was Coralfax. He was alive, barely. His body was broken, but his voice was strong. The guards froze. The human won, the king said slowly. He followed our laws. He earned victory. But one guard started. The king raised one hand. He spared my life. That is more strength than any of you have shown. The guards lowered their weapons and stepped back. Ji-won nodded once. I came to fight, not to kill. Coralfax looked up at him. Perhaps your people are not so weak. With those last words, The king passed out. Medics rushed in to take him away. A new voice spoke through the arena speakers. It was the Threx Council. The duel is finished. As agreed, Earth will be free. The war is over. Jai-1 finally let out a long breath. He closed his eyes and dropped to his knees. The alien ship returned him to the command vessel. Hai-Jin was waiting. She ran to him, smiling with tears in her eyes. "You're really alive," she said. "Barely," Jai-1 replied with a small smile. They stood together, looking out at the stars. Earth had been saved, not by weapons, but by one warrior's will to protect. But deep in space, not everyone was happy. Some Threx leaders whispered in secret. They were angry. They wanted revenge. The battle was over, but the future was still uncertain. The stars were quiet again. Jai-1 stood on the deck of the command ship, looking out into the black sky. The fight was over. The pain in his body had not gone, but the weight on his heart felt lighter. He had done what many thought was impossible. Earth was safe. The next day, the Threx Council held a special meeting. Holograms of leaders from many planets joined. Jai-1 stood in the center of the room with Hai-Jin beside him. The council speaker, a tall alien with silver skin, raised his voice. "Human Jai-1, by Threx law, you are now a champion of the stars." He held out a glowing medal. Jai-1 accepted it quietly. Another alien leader spoke. "You have changed the balance of power. Some feared your people. Now, many respect them." Jai-1 looked around the room. "We never wanted war. We only wanted peace and freedom." Many nodded. Some smiled. Others stayed silent. After the ceremony, Jai-1 and Hai-Jin returned to the ship. Their journey back to Earth began. It would take weeks, but they didn't mind. The stars outside were beautiful now, not cold or scary, but full of life and light. Hai-Jin brought 2 cups of tea to the control room. She sat next to Jai-1. "You know," she said, "you're kind of a legend now." Jai-1 laughed softly. "I didn't want to be a legend. I just wanted to protect our home." She smiled. "You did, and not just our home. You showed the galaxy what humans can do." As they floated through space, news spread across the stars. Other small planets, once afraid of the Threx, began to speak up. They formed new groups, made new rules, and started to stand together. Some Threx still hated humans. Some wanted revenge, but many others had changed. They began to ask questions. Why did one human fight so hard? What gave him such strength? The answer was simple. **** hope, love, and courage ***. When Jai-1 finally returned to Earth, people waited at every port. Children held flags. Families held signs with his name. The world cheered. He stepped out of the ship, tired but smiling. His parents were there, crying and laughing. His younger brother ran up and hugged him tight. "We watched the whole thing," the boy said. "You were amazing." Jai-1 bent down and smiled. "You'll be even stronger one day." Later, at a global celebration, leaders from every country thanked Jai-1 and Hai-Jin. They shared the story of the battle. It became a lesson for all, that one person's courage could change the world, or even the galaxy. As time passed, Jai-1 didn't become a soldier again. He became a teacher. He told young students about peace, strength, and standing up for what's right. And sometimes, when the stars were clear, he looked up and remembered the arena, the king, and the battle that changed everything. He didn't need to fight again. But if the galaxy ever needed him, he would be ready. Because he was human. And that meant something now.